But this isn't the end. No way. We're gonna show this world a thing or two. We're gonna show...
Bro, no lie. I came home yesterday from work, Saturday, 5 o'clock. Took off all my clothes, laid in bed. I was dead. I was gonna make this yesterday, but my body refused to let me do it. So anyway, let's talk about it. So right here, we're dealing with a Rimuru, a ML Landy, and a Conqueror Lilias setup. So it's really not too special, especially because it's my very first match, and I try to go through about this with an 18-man crew yet again because I'm a fucking retard. Like, there's no reason to ever really do that. For example, like right there, I straight up was taken aback by just how much fucking damage this Rimuru just did. So cool, I just lost my first holy sack. So now I have to make a determination. Do I use S1 to heal with Celestine, or do I just do a big heal with S3 just to keep, like, the revive on me at all times? So I go for that. I also happen to notice that this Rimuru is fairly squishy to a degree. So if I go into him enough with, like, my Shadow Knight Pyllis here, then I should be able to just kill him outright with Krau, because he also doesn't have Proof of Valor. So even though we've gotten a fair amount of heals on our Krau, and we recovered from almost nothing to like well over half, we should still do enough damage to kill. And lo and behold, we do. Thank God. Now, all we have left are Navy Captain Landy and Conqueror Lilias. So, initially, I thought, like, okay, so this should be free, right? This is 100% free. Sure, the Navy Captain Landy is going to be annoying as fuck, but I have enough, like, damage mitigate... Well, it's not really damage mitigation, but I have Death Buff. I have, like, occasional barriers here and there. I have a really, really good healer with me who's also going to heal on every single counterattack and salvo that they do. Yeah, so everything should be hunky-dory, right? By the by, I was going to play a game with you guys, but I already forgot about it because I am so fucking out of it right now. How many times do you think the Landy actually does salvo? I'm not going to count it right now because I straight up don't feel like it. But I swear to you, it feels like it's like more than 10. Like, she salvos so fucking much, it's actually concerning. But basically here, I'm still thinking in my mind, oh yeah, all I got to do is just keep going in with Shadow Punch, Rocket Knight, wow. I'm really fucked up right now. Shadow Knight Pyllis, Rocket Punch into the Navy Captain Landy, and I should be able to win. However, the salvos are getting somewhat concerning, just how frequently they're happening, and the fact that Conqueror Lilias is also on that team, which does a forced dual attack, which she can activate salvo off of any of her S1s. It doesn't have to be like on her turn or any of that other shit. So I think it was right around here that I decided, okay, yeah, that bitch needs to go. As soon as the Conqueror Lilias is down, then we should be able to kill this Navy Captain Landy. So that's ultimately the strategy we go with. It takes an absurd amount of time to do this little strategy, but like, hey, it is what it is. I could have gone about this in like a couple of other ways, but Rimuru is the one unit in the game that like really does scare me in terms of you just don't know how much fucking damage he's gonna do, and it's always good to have a blue bait to go into him, which is why I have Krau with me. But either way, that's essentially what's gonna happen here. And while we're waiting to get to the next match, because essentially we're just getting walled out by Navy Captain Landy shenanigans, and Conqueror Lilias isn't fucking dead yet, let's talk about some of the stuff that actually is happening in E7 at the moment. So it turns out we got ourselves a new little mode through the side story for Lilias, the bitch that I actually really can't fucking stand. However, Brawl mode, or Brawl Arena, or whatever it is that you want to call it, it actually looks really, really fun. Basically what it is, it's basically Teamfight Tactics, but with Epic 7 characters, so it's an auto-battler, and it actually looks mad fucking fun. I really hope we get that as, like, a main mechanic or a main mode. I would much rather do this than, like, say, Advent any day of the week. Advent is fucking cancer. Don't bring Advent back. Advent fucking sucks. And then, along with that, we also happen to be hit with the balance patch that's going to be coming. Oh, good lord! I don't even know when the hell this is hitting, but like it hit on the 15th, so which means it's probably going to be after E7 WC and the RTA stuff. Which, speaking of RTA, I hope you guys were able to get to your RTA levels that you wanted to. This RTA season was pretty shitty. Mainly because Navy Captain Landy showed up right at the tail end of it, and if you didn't want to play Casino, you were kind of forced to play Casino. Or you had to ban her and whoever the hell your other unit that you really, really fucking hate is. which made climbing the Masters more of a chore than it really is. But like, hey, the Last Rider Krau skin was, yeah, it's pretty good. It was a lot of fun to grab. The only thing I would really criticize on the Last Rider Krau skin is whenever you see the S3 for it, there's something wrong with his face. And I think the problem is they don't angle his face down like OG Last Rider Krau. Otherwise, Last Rider Krau's new voice lines and skin looks fucking sick. Alright, cool, it's time for the next fight. So it's Alencia, Ambitious Tywin, and ae-KARINA. So the big thing I decide to do here is, okay, so we're gonna Straze this sumbitch, and we're gonna see who is the big daddy tank. Okay, so the big daddy tank is actually gonna be Ambitious Tywin. So he's out. The next unit that's gonna be going is gonna be Alencia, and this is also why I brought Shara with me. The main reason why, and also I brought Iseria with me just to completely reset Straze, because normally I would bring something like, say, Muse Rima with me, but Muse Rima is one turn cooldown down from being able to completely reset your Straze, so you can like take out 2 tank units in 1 turn. Also, fuck 15%. It was supposed to hit her with Def Down and Unbuffable, but hey, fuck me. So we brought Shuna in here strictly to tank the ae-KARINA and to possibly just like, you know, put the Alencia to sleep if she doesn't have effect res. So hey, now we were able to go into this, and the only unit that was even able to act was ae-KARINA. And now she's hit with Def Down, so now she can't do any damage. God, feels fucking good to see that. Rocket Punch only doing 700 damage. Feels good, man. But, like, either way, that's the next strategy here. She's Def Broken. I'm just going to straight up throw out an S2 with Straze. Bam. Dead. Woo! We got through the first round. It's already been, like, 6 fucking minutes. So, for this next one, oh goody goody, we get to fight Rimuru again, and Senya, and Mercedes. So, what I decide to do is, hey, let's just play a little bit of Protect the President. We're going to go with Troublemaker Crozet, we're going to go with Lethe, and then we're also going to go with Destina for the sake of anchoring the team in any kind of heals or pushes, or the fact that we might need a cleanse for what the Senya is going to do to us later. So, the good news is, this is not going to kill. It's going to do a lot of damage, but it is not going to kill. Even if this was a DPS Rimuru, which I'm not sure if it was. I don't think it was. It doesn't do enough damage to really be a threat. Normally what I kind of do into these particular teams if I don't feel like using Krau is sometimes I like to bring in Choux into this, but like Choux into Senya is kind of pain, and yeah, fuck that. Whereas all I need to do with Lethe is I just need to go into the Mercedes once with a Soul Burn S3, again with an S1, and then if she gets to her turn again really quickly, which I have 2 CR boosting units with me, we should be able to get to that turn very quick, and before the Senya even acts with her S3, we've already killed the Mercedes. So, now that the Mercedes is dead, the only true other threat on the team is Rimuru. Especially because we have a cleanse on our team as well with Destina. So with that cleanse, we're going to make sure we're not ever affected by, like, missing and provoke and all that other shit, but we have so much like tankability with Troublemaker Crozet just tanking a lot of that extra damage that this really isn't much of a threat. So while we're going through this, basically what we're going to do is we're going to go into, I think it's Senya here, because she already had 2 stacks of Omen. Yep, she did. So we go into her. We don't have Misty buff, so we have a chance of actually hitting her. If we hit her, we kill her. And we did not miss. So now all that's left is Rimuru, and we have heals, we have revive, we have tank ability, we have so much shit going in our favor that we just straight up can't lose at this point. So naturally, hey, let's talk about the buffs real quick. I'm going to come to these here and there, but hey, the big one that really came through was MLK. Yo, this motherfucker actually is straight up anti-cleave now. Because what he does now is his S1 provokes now, instead of doing attack down, which was fucking useless. If anyone hits his team with a crit, except for him, he reacts with knockout, which is the provoke. And then he also has 3 turns of vigor at the very start of the fight. It's like, holy shit! And now, on to this next round here. We have Savior Adin, we have Spirit Eye Celine, and we have Navy Captain Landy. So hey, you guys see what I see? That's 3 light units. What is the general rule of thumb anytime you're fighting nothing but light? Well, go ahead and pull out the Dark Corvus and essentially hit that auto button because you fucking win. So, I also brought Unbound Knight Arowell with me and Magic Scholar Doris, honestly, just for the sake of, oh yeah, those two are an item together. They have story and whatever together, even though it hardly ever shows up in the actual game. Let's go ahead and we'll do that, just for funsies. Because basically, what I'm still trying to do, like the whole, oh, don't use any repeated units or whatever, which is honestly stupid. There's no reason to actually do that to yourself. It's not like we actually get a diversity bonus for the sake of using non-repeated units into, like, Guild Wars or whatever. It's almost like we need to have some kind of, like, a change to Guild War, because it's, like, you know, been the same for 5 fucking years. It's almost like we need more shit in it or something. I don't know. Let them do whatever they will. But, like, basically, that's what we're going to do. Dark Corvus is going to kill every single unit. And it's basically going to be stalemated just a little bit at the end because the Spirit Eye Celine keeps getting crit, so she's able to recover here and there. But, like, when you have as much defense and just mitigation and provocability, just all the shit is on my side for this, she's eventually going to die. It's just going to take a hot second. But either way, moving on. So MLK run. Turns out the clown himself is finally getting buffed because everybody been complaining about this motherfucker non-stop. And honestly, these are pretty good buffs. Basically, they took away the whole enrage bullshit about him, so now he just straight up builds fighting spirit, like 10 fighting spirit every enemy turn, and it doesn't have that stupid as fuck stipulation of they have to have a buff or whatever. That is the dumbest shit ever. That shit did not need to exist. So now here's our other trade-off, is when you hit max fighting spirit, you'll gain 50% CR. And the other thing is, it doesn't consume the fighting spirit. So now you have like a big boost on that, and the other thing that it does is it's on a 3-turn cooldown, so you can't just like go at completely 0 speed. You can, technically, but that's like to prevent you from doing that. And then now the ultimate that he has, his S3, the really cool thing that they did for this is he's no longer bound by, I have to have max fighting spirit. The cool thing that he does is he just straight up, he uses whatever fighting spirit he has, which translates to extra damage on the S3. We don't know, like, the values of what's going to be what, but, like, it's also cool that they got rid of all that enrage horse shit. So now he just straight up, if he has max fighting spirit, he'll zoom down on the bar, and then he'll use his S3 and do additional 10k damage. And then they also buffed the S3 in general. We have no idea like how much more damage that's going to be, but hey, there it is. And those are like the two really, really big ones that are going to be getting buffed. I'm really kind of looking forward to those. And then, like, a real quick, Bihu. Basically, all they did to him, if you guys even fucking remember who that is, Bihu, all they did to him was they made his S1 not be fucking Casino. So, on his turn, when he uses S1, he gets the, like, Incinerate, the good skill that, like, does the burn shit. Okay, cool. Good job. Now, let's talk about this match real quick, because these are the two matches that, like, really, really fucked me up. So, Conqueror Lilias, Senya, and Choux. Typical team. I fight this team all the time. And I usually go into this with, like, Shadow Knight, Pyllis, Roana, and then, like, some other unit. And it usually makes it free. However, I wanted to try and do something different. So, what I wanted to do is I brought Ahmed for the sake of tanking anything that the Senya might do. I brought Ainos as a backup just in case the barrier was going to be on somebody else, which in this case it was. So we use the S3 with Ainos, then this will proc the Senya. She'll give a buff, a barrier to everybody. So because I saw the Choux had death buff, I wasn't confident I was going to be able to kill her. So then I go into the Senya. Dead. Now, I don't take account of like how fast I was able to get my turn here. So I then try to go into Choux. This doesn't work, as I predicted, because she had death buff up. Thanks, Conqueror Lilias. You and your stupid fucking snow globe artifact are the best. And from here, we have lost. The main reason we have lost is because we cannot get to our turn to refresh the S3 on Arunka fast enough, and the Choux will just straight up fucking eat everybody on the field. This is like the biggest problem with Arunka, is like she's a one-trick pony that can only S3. She can't really reliably use her S1. She just can't. And that was a panic soul burn. I was trying to use the soul burn on Arunka, but I wasn't paying attention to whose turn it was. But here's like the big thing that I hate about Arunka. That should have killed. If I was using Uber's Tooth, it would have. But hey, what can you do? It just kind of feels like her S1, S2, or S1, S1 follow-up just really needs some kind of buff to it. It's the one thing that I really, really hate about this character. But, like, hey, you can't really argue with just how good they made the S3. The only problem is you have to have attack buff to even really make it usable. Just sucks. But hey, what can you do? Maybe that's where you need to use Peyra and Arunka at the same time. They're sisters! But either way, here's on to the next fight here. I decided, with using all different characters, okay, let's go with Zio. We'll see if we can hit the ae-KARINA. Oh, cool, she counterattacks. Well, fuck, that hurts. So then the next thing I was going to go for is, let's try out our last piece Karin, and we'll see if we can kill this Savior Adin. We normally can, because a Savior Adin is usually really, really squishy. Unfortunately, this was a slow Savior Adin who also had like 13k HP. I almost never see that. Ever. Now, because we weren't able to kill the Savior Adin, we are utterly fucked. This was another reason why I brought Lilias here with me, was just in case I was going to be stunned on my Zio or anything like that. A lot of fucking good that did me. Because, like, hey, looky there, they're all dead, and now Last Piece Karin's lost her stealth, and she's fucking dead. Yay! So this is pretty much like one of the biggest reasons why I don't cleave a lot and why I usually do turn 2 shenanigans almost all the time in Guild War. It's fucking consistent and it works. I don't want to be around anymore. But yeah, I get what I fucking deserve. I was trying to be too fucking cheeky and I lost pretty much because of that. But either way, let's go on to more of these buffs here. So hey, Eligos is getting buffs. Basically, all they did to this motherfucker is they created a new buff called Hit Chance. So with Hit Chance, he's straight up going to be able to go into blue units. That's already scary. And he can also go into some evasion units. He doesn't have that, like, you know, 70% hit, so it's not going to always work. But just the mere fact that he can go into blue units now, that's fucking terrifying. And then they just straight up made all of his damage stuff do more damage. Cool. I'd totally use Eligos if I had the fucking speed gear. I just don't have it. And now for like one of the other buffs that was just straight up kind of, I don't know how to feel about it, was Moon Bunny. Moon Bunny is going to be better in a Guild War format, but like for PvP in general, I'm really not sure how I feel about it. Basically, her S1 has a higher chance to sleep, and then they kind of like swapped the S2 and S3 around, so on extra turn, she'll gain Skill Null, and the barrier is on the S3, and she also cleanses the whole team on S2. So like this will work 100% for like Arena and Guild War shit against the Conqueror Lilias, but like against other stuff, I'm not so sure about it. And then with Crescent Moon Ren, basically all they did with her is they just made her more fucking aggro. So her S3, if she crits now, she'll gain an extra turn instead of that stupid bullshit of if she strips. Because, like, hey, LOL, 15%. And then the other thing was on her S2, she now steals the buffs before she stuns, something that should have been on fucking release. But okay, whatevs. And then there's Inferno Kawazu, where they just straight up made his detonations even stronger and gave him 5% more CR boost, which is like, well, we'll see just how much damage that does, and if he actually needs Benimaru's Tai Chi. Because that's like the one thing that kind of sucks about him, is it feels like he needs that fucking artifact. And that artifact is like Hyper Whale Land. And then finally, the best fucking character in the game, Shadow Knight Pyllis. Yeah, she just heals a little bit more, goes from 3% HP on her runes to 5% HP, and now she mitigates damage on herself when a counterattack happens. I'm not even going to fucking lie to you. I thought that that shit always affected her. But no, if you read it, it actually says that it affects the team and not her. But now it affects everybody! Yay! Well, why the fuck was she in the balance patch notes when it was just a rune edit? But either way, if you guys like this content, go ahead and leave a like. If you want to see more of my content, hit subscribe.